So recently I decided to rewatch an anime I really liked called Snow White with the Red Hair. I found it again on Hulu. I think Crunchyroll used to have it, but they don't anymore because I think I looked for it and it just wasn't there. So they must have removed it from the site or whatever. Always let you know, I'm sorry. And there's 2 seasons, 24 episodes. The story does leave off in a way to, they leave it off so they leave it off for a 3rd season. I don't know if we're gonna get one. I just checked before this video, and so far it doesn't say anything about, there's been no official announcement of, hey, we're gonna do a season 3 or anything like that. I hope so because I really liked it. But basically, despite the fact of the name, I don't know why it really gets that name, because the girl's name isn't Shiroyuki, which would be Snow White. It's Shirayuki. And she, as the title suggests, she has red hair, which does come into play. But before that, it just dawned on me, there was another manga that I just read a few pages of a couple of years ago, a long time ago, and I don't remember the name of, and I want to remember and actually go and read it. And I don't remember anything. I just remember she had, I think, red hair, or at least unnaturally colored hair, and they make her dye it black because it's a disgusting color to them or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. And I think there was a prince, but he was a dick to her. It was I don't know if he was a prince or just someone of higher status. I don't know. So if you have any idea what manga I'm talking about, please let me know, because it's been driving me nuts. It just kind of randomly floated in my head. Oh yeah, I remember this thing. Where the fuck did that go? Anyway, so the story is about, back on track. I'm not talking about the one I'm looking for. That's all I know about the one I'm looking for. She had red hair and they made her dye her hair black. And that's about it that I remember. Now the story of our main character in this anime, Snow White with the red hair, her name is Shiroyuki, and she is an herbalist, which I don't know what time period you would say. I'm not good with history, so I don't know what time period they're comparing to, but I don't think it's based off of anything real. I don't think so. I don't fucking know. But it's not a fantasy thing either. When I think of fantasy anime, I think of dragons and magic and fucking wizards and shit. It's none of that, as far as I know. I haven't seen any of that. But I want to say it's kind of a medieval time period, but that doesn't really make sense. They're still using lanterns and flames and shit. I haven't seen any magic or anything fantasy related, but it doesn't feel very medieval either. So I don't know how to describe it, but with shows like ReZero, where it's kind of that time period, without any of the fantasy stuff, it's kind of they're still using candles and those lanterns where you have to light with a gas or whatever, and that kind of thing. So I don't know what time period that is, but it's not modern day. Let's just say that it's not modern day. So Shiroki's an herbalist, and she's running her shop one day, and we get a cut to this Prince Raj, R-A-J, Prince Raj, and he's doing the cheesy who's the fairest of them all thing to this attendant that he has go out and do shit for him, and he's who's the fairest human in the law, and they're well, I guess that'd be Shiroyuki. She has red hair no one else does. She's kind of the only one with this odd hair color. She has red hair, and so he sends this guy to bring her to him so she can be his concubine, because I guess he was curious about her red hair. It's hard to explain. And so the guy comes to her and says, get yourself ready. You're going to be a concubine or whatever. And she decides she is going to run away and have him tire of it slowly, so she cuts her long hair so it's not like this, and leaves it after doing a bunch of medicine for the people that usually come to her shop, and she decides to run away after doing that, and she crosses over, or she Well, I don't know exactly where she is. It's not like they give you a fucking map. But she's clearly gone quite a way. I don't know if she's in the next country yet, or she's kind of like on the border or somewhere. I don't know. And she's walking along, finds this house, knocks on the door, no one's there, but she doesn't really have a place to stay, so she kind of sleeps outside of it. But obviously not going in because it's not her house, so she's not going to do that. So she's sleeping and she wakes up hearing like chattering on the other end of this like high wall around the house. And a guy jumps over it and like doesn't expect to see her there and kind of like crash lands. And we find out his name is Zen, and he has two other people with him, a girl named Kiki and a guy named Mitsuhide. They're also kind of main characters, or slightly like side characters, but like there's they're not main characters, but they're not quite side characters. They're kind of like a combination of the two. Like they're not in the show a whole bunch. Like it doesn't, like not everything focuses on them, but they do occasionally have screen time more than like most side characters. Does that make sense? One of these days I might be good at describing a thing. Eventually. Kind of, sort of detailed enough to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know when it will be. It's like a pipe dream, but still. So yeah, those three, she meets them and they kind of find out about her situation, and she ends up getting saved and not having to marry him, and she goes to a neighboring country, Zen's country, which is oh fuck, what do they call it? Wisteria, I think his country is. No wait, that's his last name. Sorry, I can't remember the name. Fucking Claris, I think it's called. Clarians, something like that. And the country she was from and born in, Bergen, was Tabaran. And they're like neighboring countries, they get along well. And so she goes to live in his country. And she decides to become a court herbalist there, which is like essentially the same job she had, but of a higher status, like it's actually working for like the palace kind of a thing. And we find out that Zen is also a prince of Claris. He is the second prince, and his brother, we do meet eventually down the road, is the first prince and in line to be the next king. And it's kind of like her just becoming, like them meeting, her kind of like moving there and becoming a court herbalist and meeting new people, and their relationship developing into quite clearly they both like each other, but they like Shiryuki does kind of admire him, but she doesn't realize she has feelings until later, whereas then it's probably obvious he's liked her since the beginning. But they get along really well, and it's the relationship developing. It's a very cute show. I really like it. And it's one of my favorite anime. Like I said, there's 24 episodes on Hulu. I don't know if we're going to get a third season. I hope so. I haven't read the manga or light novel if there's one. But it's really good. I think you should definitely check it out if you like romance. There are a lot of likable characters. And it's just... I like watching it. I don't know. I tried not to ruin everything. Like, I thought about should I reveal he's a prince, and maybe just leave that off, but, like, she does get saved, and that is in the first episode, you find he's a prince, and it's, also that she gets saved in the episode, so I'm like, okay, that's the first episode. That's kind of spoiling, but not really, because it is just the first episode, so, there was slight spoilers, I'm sorry, but, I think it's slightly better than me just going on a tirade of everything that happens. So, anyway, it's kind of, I would say it was probably made for girls. But, none of that means you can't watch it or anything if you're a guy. But, like, it's obvious that's probably what they're going for, is, like, around, like, the 12 to 16-year-old girls, probably demographic. But definitely try it, it's really good.